Hi, welcome back to another Crypto Day video. It's Friday, which means another crypto interest rates and news update. Today is the 26th of March 2021, and as always we start by having a look at any kind of changes, any new coins or interest rate changes, and we will be going through the upcoming BlockFi announcement of all their kind of rate changes in the news in a minute, but nothing major to announce, no big changes over the last week. I did do an update a few days ago. I think there were a couple of little Celsius changes which I'd missed, which I updated, but if you see any errors here, do let me know in the comments below and I'll make sure to update this. I tend to go through every weekend and try and make sure everything is up to date, but a lot of these kind of companies, particularly kind of Celsius, updating stuff on a weekly kind of basis, so sometimes a little bit difficult to keep on top of. I will also be adding Swissborg. They've added now yield for not only their own token but Ethereum and USDC, and hopefully Bitcoin coming soon, so I'm going to be adding that in, and I will be doing rejigging these with the new BlockFi kind of like levels and tiers for next week's video, but they don't go live till the 1st of April. So moving over to the token prices, now obviously been a pretty poor week this last week with the crypto markets. Bitcoin heading up to sort of 60,000 odd last weekend, and then it's had quite a substantial kind of pullback. We were down to just over 50,000, so a pretty substantial pullback. Same for kind of Ethereum. Ethereum down into the 1500, sort of like mid 1500, so 1550, 1540, something like that. But we have seen a little bit of a recovery over the last kind of day or so, certainly over the last sort of 12-14 hours, a little bit of kind of recovery. So hopefully the bottom, the local bottom, is in, and we're going to see some sustained kind of growth over the next kind of week or so. Now, reflected in the kind of prices here, obviously the markets in general pretty kind of poor at the moment, but not surprisingly all three of these tokens down. Celsius not doing too badly, only down 3.4%, Crypto.com down 5.3%, so this is broadly in line with everything else. And Nexo not had a great week, down 10%, but again a lot of altcoins have lost a lot more than this, so nothing dramatic to report here. Now I think the slightly disappointing one is CRO. Now the mainnet launch, we'll be talking about that in a minute, but the mainnet launch this week, there was a bit of a surge up in price, as you can see here, but it's given up all those kind of gains since then, so a little bit disappointing for CRO. I think a lot of people were expecting a little bit of a price increase when the mainnet went live. But moving on to the stories, and the really big story, this was announced 3 days ago. So BlockFi are going to be substantially changing their headline kind of rates for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and this will go live the 1st of April. So it's not live yet. I haven't updated the spreadsheet because it's not live yet, but it's pretty poor news overall. If you've only got a small amount of crypto in them, it's not going to affect you. So basically at the moment you get 6% on Bitcoin in tier 1, so that's up to your first 2.5 Bitcoin. Now this used to be up to 5 Bitcoin. I remember when it was up to 5 Bitcoin, and I removed a bit to bring it under that 2.5 kind of level, but that's coming down to just 1 Bitcoin. So this is going to be the new amount, so you only will be earning 6% on your first Bitcoin. Previously 2.5 Bitcoin and above got 3%, and now basically 1 to 20 Bitcoin will be getting 2%, so less even with that, but then 20 or over, so if you're kind of well with a large amount of crypto on this platform, only getting 0.5%. So I'm not sure that anybody at 0.5% would be really inclined to kind of keep their crypto on kind of BlockFi. At the same time, Ethereum tiers are being reintroduced. Now those of you who have been with BlockFi for a while will know way back maybe a year ago or so, there were tiers for Ethereum and they were all removed. So at the moment you earn 5.25% on Ethereum. From the 1st of April it's going to be 5.25% on the first 100 Ethereum, then 2% on 100 to 1,000 Ethereum, and just 0.5% again on 1,000 Ethereum or more. And there are reasons kind of basically kind of why this is kind of happening, and I think we're going to see a decrease in price really across the board. We've seen Celsius bringing down their non-US Bitcoin down to just over 4%. I think it's 4.06 at the moment, or 5.1 when it's paid in Celsius token, but like for like just over 4%. As I said, if you've gone up to 1 Bitcoin, it's not going to affect you, only 6%, but if you have more than 1 Bitcoin on the on the platform, if you were basically kind of like utilizing it up to the 2.5%, as I was previously, you are going to possibly want to look elsewhere. What I've done, I've actually requested a transfer out. So I did that yesterday. It should go out hopefully this evening by 8 p.m. And I've moved basically everything over 1 Bitcoin over to Ledn. So Ledn at the moment are still offering 6%, and that's not capped. So if you have more than 1 Bitcoin, you can move that over to Ledn. Now, I'm sure at some point Ledn may change their rates. They change their rates once a month, so they announce it probably be sometime kind of soon in the next couple of days what their rates for April will be. Now, it'll be interesting to see whether they actually change their rates, introduce some tiers or anything like that, or whether they maybe just soak up some of the money that is undoubtedly flowing out of BlockFi from not necessarily kind of like large deposits. I mean, as I said, I had about 2.25, 2.2, 2.3 Bitcoin. I wanted to keep under that 2.5 limit, so I was earning at the maximum rate. But as I said, now I've moved everything but 1 Bitcoin out. I still like BlockFi as a platform, and I do trust them as much as Ledn. So Ledn and BlockFi probably the two platforms I trust most. I'll be talking about this a lot more at the beginning of April when I do my revenue roundup for March. I'll be talking through kind of what I'm planning to do. But yeah, in the short term, I'm going to be moving everything more than 1 Bitcoin over to Ledn to earn 6%. And then moving on to some other stories. So as we mentioned just now, the CRO chain, so this is crypto.org chain, this is CRO, so it used to be an ERC20 token, this is obviously the Crypto.com token, the one that subsequently replaced MCO. So they used to have MCO, then they had MCO and CRO, and now it's just CRO, and they have launched their mainnet now. So interesting to read about it. You can go to this link here. The links to all these articles, as always, will be in the description below, but you can have a look not just at what the chain is going to do and stuff like that, but also have a look at the migration. So this will be important to you if you have CRO. Now the simple thing is that if you have your CRO, like a lot of people do have on the app or on the exchange, there's nothing you need to do. Your ERC20 will be automatically converted to the native CRO when you withdraw it. And if you're on the DeFi wallet, you can use a simple in-app migration tool. You can download that there. If it's on other exchanges, there's information and instructions here about the web tool, how you can basically kind of migrate your existing ERC20 tokens over to the CRO on their own kind of mainnet. But basically this will massively reduce the cost of transactions. So transactions, as it says here, are instant and confirmed with minimal fees. I believe people moving into the DeFi wallet were charged 0.01 CRO to move over. So yeah, very low kind of fees. You can read all about the ecosystem, stuff like that here. No doubt we'll be covering this in a little bit more detail in subsequent weeks. Excuse me. But staying with crypto.com for a little bit, in some ways I think this will either be kind of good news or kind of bad news, but I think people that like crypto.com like the fact that they have sort of fingers in lots of different kind of pies. Whenever something comes out, whether that was kind of DeFi and the syndicate and the Supercharger events and all these kind of things, they always seem to kind of jump on the bandwagon and launch something. Now, I think sometimes that it could be argued that they've spread themselves a little bit too thin, that they kind of jump on every kind of like sort of like not necessarily novelty, but every kind of trend that's kind of coming out, rather than concentrating on potentially what people would like them to. But for those of you who are interested in NFTs, it's not really a market that I'm massively interested in, but they will have NFTs on crypto.com. It's just crypto.com/NFT. The first one is today, so this is Friday the 26th of March, and this is a Boss Logic. You can view the drop here. If we just click through quickly to that, you can see some of the NFTs that will be available, but they will be launching more of these. They're quite an interesting one is the one with Cognizant. So Crypto.com are a partner, an advertising partner for the Aston Martin Formula One team, and they will be doing, I think on the 30th, so next Tuesday, they'll be launching some NFTs that are Formula One related. So if you're interested in Formula One, it might be worth checking those out. And then staying with Crypto.com for a couple of stories. Firstly, the Supercharger event. So there is Engine Coin is the next Supercharger event, and the nice thing is it's a $2 million US, sorry, $2 million US dollar, so I can't get my words out today, $2 million US dollar allocation. Now that's up from $250,000 normally, and it's going to be a slightly longer one. So previously there have been 30 days charging and 30 days reward. This will be 45 days charging, 45 days reward. This will go live in 3 days time. So if you're interested in the Supercharger events, Engine Coin is the next one that will be live in 3 days, and it will be a month and a half for charging, then a month and a half getting paid out. And lastly, with Crypto.com, the syndicate events are still going live. This is $250,000, so 250,000, like most of the previous ones have been for a while. But Flow will be the syndicate coin that will be going live. I believe that's on Tuesday. Is that the 30th? I think it will be. Yes, so it coming 30th of March. So that's next Tuesday, and that's a 3-day event, I believe. $250,000 of Flow at 50% off. The usual restrictions and requirements apply in terms of holding a certain amount and staking a certain amount of CRO and having a trading history on the exchange. And then moving on to a couple of other stories. Celsius, so we mentioned this last week, but the Celsius token CEL is now listed on Bitfinex. We announced it was announced last week, but it's live now as of yesterday on the exchange. You can now trade sell on Bitfinex, hot on the heels of Bittrex, I think it was, that went live last week. So nice to see Cell token being listed on a few different large exchanges. And then finally, if you're interested in Nexo, their monthly AMA will be going live in a couple of hours. It's 2 o'clock GMT or UTC here at the moment, so this will be going live in a couple of hours. That's 4 p.m. UTC, so if you see this video pretty quickly after it comes out, you can jump on the link which will be below, and you can have a look at the live AMA. If you want to ask a question, you can jump on their Twitter and ask it there. So that's it for this week. Thanks very much for watching as always. If you can give me a thumbs up, if you consider subscribing to the channel, that would be fantastic. I hope you're keeping safe and well. Look after yourselves. Hopefully I'll see you on the next video, but until then, have a great day. Bye bye.